Now call the meeting to order for the General Assembly on February 7th, 2013. We'll begin with council roll call.
Association for Nurses and Graduate School. Communications Council. Here. Education Council. Fine Arts Council. Graduate Business Council. Graduate Engineering Council. Graduate Public Affairs Council. Liberal Arts Council. Masters of Professional Accounting Council.
Here.
Natural Sciences Council.
Here.
Pharmacy Council.
Here.
Social Work Council.
Here.
Student Association for the School of Information.
Here.
Student Bar Association.
Here.
Student Engineering Council.
Here.
Undergraduate Architecture Student Council.
Here.
Undergraduate Business Council.
Here.
Undergraduate Geological Society. Undergraduate Studies Council. And UT Nursing Student Association.
Okay, great. We'll now move on to special reports. So we have a special presentation from the Bridging Disciplines program.
Hey everyone, hope everyone's having a good night. I'm Sarah, and we're here to talk about the Bridging Disciplines program. And so we passed around note cards to everybody, so be sure to look at them during the presentation and write down any information that we tell you. Okay, so is the Bridging Disciplines program for you? It's a certificate program that will be meant to add to your major. So if you're looking into something different other than your major that you're interested in, it's definitely a really great program to rely on something that you're interested in. And so the student must have at least 2 semesters left to get a Bridging Disciplines certificate. So if you're interested in it and you have 2 semesters left, they can definitely advise you to work it into your schedule and have you be able to be part of the program.
And also what's nice about it is it works well in addition to what you're already focused on, so it kind of just enhances it. It goes on your transcript, it's an official certificate, and you can, as you can see, well, you'll see in a minute, and on the cards there are 11 different options to choose from, and they're pretty great. And you get there's certain concentrations that you'll focus on with everything, and then there's connecting experiences that go along with those that actually really make them.
And so there are 11 different concentrations from children and society to social and quality health and policy. So there's definitely a wide range of different things that you can choose from. And there are just many different experiences that you can get from it. There are connecting experiences where you can choose your own path with your certificate that you want to take.
And the connecting experiences, you can just basically go anywhere you want. It can be around the world or it could be and if you choose to do something, you can also apply for a scholarship and they'll help you out to do it. I particularly did one, and I went to Ghana and worked with displaced women that are living on the streets and did a research project there. I mean, helped the scholarship for that. It was priceless.
Right, so there's just a lot of different paths you can take to express internships, research, and stuff. And so the benefits of the Bridging Disciplines program is that it allows you to study something your major doesn't provide. So with that, you're able to just go into some courses that you haven't before, and it's like a clash of different types of majors. You really get that experience, and so you get to do what you want with your certificate, especially. So you can go and study abroad and also research and do an internship that really interests you. That way you can build on your career path and your experience.
So there's a deadline, and this is going to get you in the fall. So March 7th is
Yeah, mark it down. And so the info sessions will tell you more about the application process. So if you're interested, be sure to go to an info session. If not, you can schedule an appointment. The number is also on the website, and so you can just call and schedule an info session and talk to an advisor, and it'll really help you just form your application, and they'll tell you what they're looking for in order to get into the program.
So basically what you need to do is we recommend you go to an info session and then give you more information about what you need. And then after that you'll need to talk with the VP advisor
starts here. I don't know if you guys can hear
Thanks.
We'll now move on to our second special report tonight, which is financial renewal from ITS.
Hello, I am Angela Newell. I am an alum of the University of Texas, and may I say a master's degree. My area of interest is information technology and governance, and one of the things that I've been researching this past year with several of you actually in this room is mobility and mobile devices. As you know, and are the absolute beneficiaries of, we're all carrying around more and more mobile devices. As that happens on campus, and as we're able to employ those in the classroom better, we have different bandwidth needs. So we are going to think about how we talk to you about bandwidth and how we communicate your bandwidth options. And to do that, I have the absolute best director of networking services in the country, and I mean this because I'm a researcher and I know it for a fact. This is William Green, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about bandwidth and what your options are on campus.
So, how many of y'all know what a tier bandwidth subscription is? I'm surprised normally nobody knows what that means. So, if you read any of the trade press, you see the world is up against this and trouble with some bandwidth. We all know this because people don't consider it. Predictions say that over the next 5 or 6 years, there's going to be a 16-time increase in how bandwidth is consumed. Now think of that. In your lives, how many times does anything do a 16-fold increase? Think of that happen in the traffic, right? 16 times increase. So that's really hard to keep up with, and it's hard for the university to keep up with. And different universities have used different approaches over time. The approach the University of Texas selected was we stood back and we looked at our core values. And we said, what are our core values? Well, some of them that came to mind are, if you need to discover, people should be able to do whatever they want to do. You're adults, and you're learning to discover. Some universities actually restrict them. They say, well, we don't think this activity should be used for academic functions, so we're going to either turn the valve off on that, slow it down, or we're not permitted. Decided that probably wasn't good for our students. We don't think we're able to judge what is and isn't good for their academic purposes. But the other part of that is individual responsibility. And that's that people should be responsible for the actions that they take. So we aligned all these and came up with, you can do whatever you want, but if you need to consume lots of bandwidth, we're going to let you be responsible for that bandwidth. So we removed the university from the 16-fold increase in bandwidth and let the students do what they need to do. And that means the university won't be saying you can't watch Netflix or you can't watch YouTube. You may need to pull up a YouTube lecture for your calculus studies. It may be a professor giving you a good overview. We don't know, and we're not going to be able to keep up. So instead of trying to judge, we're going to get out of the way. The university will subsidize that bandwidth by paying for all the hardware and wonderful staff we have, and only charge the marginal bandwidth. So that was the course that was set low these many years ago. But at the same time, they said we're going to ease our way into it. We're going to start by saying we're going to give students a default allocation. Well, over time, that default allocation has been eroded through what I call bandwidth inflation. Just like inflation with money, you can't buy the same amount like 20 years ago. You can't do the same things on the web with that default allocation. So the question that we're starting to ask is, should we even provide this default allocation any longer? Or is it better when a student shows up to immediately select what level of service they would like to purchase? Is that initial allocation now a teaser? And it's actually confusing people more than it's helping. And so we're going to be holding several focus groups over the next week. I believe Angela will send out an email on the 11th, the 13th, and the 15th. And could you send that out to me again so that we can have a longer discussion and focus group on your views and what you think about it. So, questions? Well, I have many slides I could normally go.
Thank you both, and now we'll move on to our final special report of the night. Catherine Strickland from UT Libraries.
Hi, my name is Catherine Strickland. I'm the SCC's representative of the UT Libraries, and I'm just coming to give you a couple of updates. I did put my contact information in the minutes, so if you all want to address any questions to me, you can call me or email me, or you also have representatives that are members of the SCC. And I can't forgive fines, just so I get that out there. Sorry, if I could, I would. I have a couple of updates. There are going to be links in the minutes. Our search box Scout up there, there's a link to search tips, and I put that link in the minutes. They're really good. If you have any, it explains all the tabs. They've just finished it and used a lot of user feedback to kind of help people use that search. So if you have any questions, search tip up there. And also, if you have any feedback, we're still trying to improve this tool. It's not, a lot of the librarians don't completely love it because we have probably, well, different expectations, but users seem to love it, but we still want to know what's working for you and what isn't working for you. So definitely use that feedback link if you have it. We've reduced printing cost in PCL. A single page is still 10 cents a page, but if you print double-sided, it's 8 cents a side or 16. It used to be just 20 cents a page. So you're, saving a couple of pennies and a few pieces of paper, which is we're kind of trying to get people to use less paper. And color printing is now only 50 cents, which used to be 80 cents, and I really hated telling people that it was 80 cents a page. 50 cents is a little easier to deal with. We also now at PCL have, you may have seen it in the daily text today, we have an interview room. It's not Skype capable. It's actually an HD teleconferencing setup. Some job interviews require that, and that's a hard thing to find. So now there's a room in there, it's a professional setting. You can go and use it if you have an online interview. I absolutely recommend practicing first, or practicing even if you just are expecting job interviews, like online or teleconferencing interviews. I would go practice with it. It's just good to get to know that. And we also have survey forms in there because we want to know how many people actually use that. Commonly, interviews are done with Skype, and this is for setups that someone can't just get on their computer. It's an actual machine that is online from ITS. I think I read that. But it's online from them. Thank them. The last thing on my list, the calendar. I don't know if you've been to one of these meetings, I'm going to mention it every time. But please notice the calendar down here. It's got all the events in the libraries. We've got 3 classes next week. 2 are on different citation management tools. Zotero, which is free. That's a good class. That one is on Tuesday of next week at PCL at 3 p.m. Next Tuesday also, there's a science study break here. It's Dr. Timothy Levine on the science of relationships. And I'm wondering if he changed his name or went into that profession. We've got EndNote for Mac users, which it can be an issue. It's a lot different. Most of our classes are PC-based, so we started a Mac users EndNote class. That's on Thursday at PCL at 3 p.m. and Wednesday at PCL at 3 p.m. And on Thursday, Save with Infographics, which is a quick course in creating infographics, like free online tools. It's a great one. That's at 1 p.m. at PCL. The calendar. Thank y'all. Have a good day.
Thank you, Catherine. We'll now move on to organizational announcements, and our own Mark Jones with Brave the Shade of St. Walter's.
All right, so by show of hands, who here has heard of St. Baldrick's? Okay, who here heard of that because of me last year? Okay, that's fine. But anyway, This event is going to be an annual thing. It is going to be happening April 6th. And I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about the organization, about the event. I did it last year. So a little background story. I ended up raising over $2,500 for pediatric cancer research. And thank you to all who donated to that, because I pestered every single one of you. But anyway, and so at the end of March, beginning of April, you get the people who donated, and then you end up shaving your heads for pediatric cancer research to show that bulk is beautiful and that these kids going through cancer treatment don't have to go through it alone. So there will be kids from Dell's Children's Hospital being brought to the main hall. It's going to be a really great event. Last year we had over 140 people shave their heads, 40 of which were girls, so ladies, consider it. But anyway, if you guys want to maybe create a team and get involved with this, you can have a council event. I believe that there will be like prizes for the people who actually sign up the most. So you can create an event. It'll be called Brave the Shave. So you can register on St. Baldrick's website, and I think you get a free t-shirt if you raise a minimum of $50. But I really highly encourage everyone to do this event. It's such a cool experience. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. My email is on the agenda. Thank you very much.
Will there be a petting zoo this year?
I don't think so. Sorry. I'm not the one
We'll donate for the charity, we'll stay with the small goats. Regular guests will now have a representative from student government.
Jordan.
All right.
We're not going to give you like a one cloud like Mark.
Okay, hey y'all. I'll be really brief. Two quick announcements. The first, which I'm sure you're going to hear more about from your exec, is Invest in Texas. How many of you are signed up in some way, shape, or form for Invest in Texas? That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's really good. So, as I'm sure you already know, it's a nonpartisan campaign. As it's a combination of Senate, SG, and GSA. My apologies, I'm a little out of the weather today. And we're down at the Capitol every single day. Your president has been doing you all proud, meeting with representatives and state senators to advocate on your behalf. So it's not too late to get involved. It's not too late to get involved with the lobby day on March 22nd. So if you are interested in helping out in some way, shape, or form, please contact Michael or investintexas@gmail.com. The second may be of particular interest to you all. Student government has our Endeavor Fund that we will be giving out this semester. We'll start advertising it more with more detail at the end of February, beginning of March. But just so that you all know now, the Endeavor Fund will be used to help support students in their academic-related research or projects. Felt like this is a very appropriate group. So if there are things that you are still working on that will carry over to next semester, this may be an appropriate funding for those projects. So again, I'm sure I'll talk about it as we move closer to the date. But if you have any questions, you can always email info.utsg@gmail.com.
Thank you. And now we'll have Michael Reddy, President of the Graduate Student Association.
So I'm going to apologize for the date. It's actually March 26th is the CMS Texas Day. But I've been saying March 22nd for like a month now, and so I know that's where Jordan got it. So I'm gonna take the fall for that one. So it's March 26th, the second Tuesday after spring break. A couple of updates that we've been working on. Last time we passed a round of constitutional reforms with our election, which is in a couple of weeks. So eventually I will not be here. I will be gone, and somebody else will be in my place. And so you won't see me again. The other thing, that's weird. I'll just disappear into the ether. No. The other thing that we've been working on, that we've been working on for a while now, which passed last night, which is actually of real particular interest, I think, because of the academic nature, is changes to the dissertation, recommending changes to the way dissertations are done here at UT. For those who don't know, the graduate dialogue actually spells out a dissertation's independent contribution to research, and that's all the university has to say on what constitutes a dissertation. which is really, really terrible for the millions of dissertations that will be done over the next 100 years of this university, the ones that have happened. And it's already. And so what we were recommending is each department actually spell out in advance, this is what a dissertation for our program and our degree is. And then you know what you're getting yourself into, and you can run away screaming years in advance from actually having to run away. And so we've gotten some really interesting reception on that. You know, it's one of those things that sounds like a no-brainer until you have to get a whole bunch of faculty in a room to decide these things. So, you know, I actually have no idea the implementation, how that might go down. But those are sort of the two big things that we've been working on. One thing that will come up, and you will hear me start talking about it for the rest of my time here, is the first week in April is Graduate Student Appreciation Week. And so if you appreciate grad students, AKA if you don't fault them for bad grades on things, then we would really appreciate you helping appreciate us. And so I'm definitely going to, we get no love. And so you'll be hearing me talk more about it. We'll have a series of events. One thing that we will be doing this year, I think, is very similar to the Thank a Professor Day. It's Thank a TA Day. And so, you know, stop by some learners and TAs. So that's really something that we're looking forward to. That's all I really have. If anybody's got any questions. Awesome, thanks. Have a great meeting.
I do want to thank Michael and Jordan both, who have been absolutely amazing in every single legislative meeting that we've had so far. They've been absolutely wonderful. We'll now move on to unfinished business and SR 1216 in support of extending the projects for underserved communities programs to all majors. And the authors, please step forward.
Hello, I'm Alexis Lee. I'm the enrichment co-chair, and I'm Judy Hong, also the other co-chair. So we only made one really slight change, whereas statement under line 6, we just added, actually it's line 7, we added in the College of Engineering to clarify that the current PhD program is valid in engineering, it's their domain. And also one more point of clarification, we didn't change it to the legislation, but just to clarify if anyone's still in doubt, we're not looking to close the old program, we're just looking to start another one. So the engineering program is staying, it's good. We just want to add it.
We're going to model off of it, so.
Questions, comments, concerns?
One time we had to open it there.
Research, and there is the closest program we have is, I think it might actually be listed in our legislation. It's called the Apples program at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. There's nothing that's exactly like this type of program, but there are some that combine service learning in Bowen and Broad or service learning in Amarillo, but nothing quite like this. Any other questions?
Seeing none, is there a motion to end discussion debate? Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? Okay, we'll now move on to the question. The question is on the approval of SR 1216 in support of extending the projects for underserved communities program to all majors. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Those abstaining? The resolution passes. We'll now move on to new business and SB 1204, amending the election code of the City of College. Because myself, Andrew, Kendra, and Josh are all listed as authors of this, we will pass the chair over for this bill to Paula, who has had a dream about doing this since he entered.
I'm not going to bang the gavel for good reason. Will the authors of the election code please step up?
Okay, so this legislation is to introduce a new version of our election code. If you read the old one, you'll know that it's long and complicated, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. So this tries to fix that. And So I hope you had a chance to read it. If you didn't, I'll just go over some of the highlights. The first enacted statement on line 1 of the legislation makes a slight change to the current constitution, and this is just to make both documents consistent. In the old election code and in the new one, there's a provision where the General Assembly can nullify an election in which the election committee violates the election code, so if it totally goes awry, you can fix it. And it didn't really before specify exactly how that was done. It's going to be by passing a bill, so I added that to the list of what we passed bills for. The second enacted statement just introduces the text of the entire election code. It's organized into 8 articles. I'll let you look through them if you haven't already. I just want to draw your attention specifically to Article 7 on line 182. These are the campaigning rules. And we've clarified and simplified this section a lot. So I just want you to pay special attention to these 5 items. The first one is that candidates need to campaign individually, not endorse other candidates, and that members of the election committee can't endorse candidates, so obviously since it's a neutral body. The second one talks about that candidates need to be in good academic standing and not have a disciplinary record at the university. The third is that candidates can't interfere with the campaigning materials of other candidates. Fourth is that you can't bribe anyone. And fifth is that you can't use university resources, center resources, council resources, or resources of any other registered student organization to create your campaign materials. So I think those are the important things. Just make sure you have any specific questions. Oh, about the without consent. Okay. So in the event that it might be appropriate for you to use resources, this is just so there's, I guess, people were in here. The election committee can approve that, so it's just to have it out in case something comes up that we just didn't.
You're referring to social media. You're referring to the social media. So you cannot establish a social media page to promote yourself, or you cannot use Senate's social media outlets to do so.
Also, you cannot post on the Senate.
No, you cannot.
Well, how it is you can do it yourself, but you can't use other organizations. You can't do it through Senate or through your council. So you can't use your council's social media to promote yourself.
So basically, your example, if you were posting on Senate's social media page using that, that would be allowed.
But you can post on your own.
Yes.
Yes.
So you can make your own page.
Yes, you just can't build off of someone else's.
Is there a penalty for that, or they automatically disqualified?
So it's up to the election committee. They have discretion over what penalties to impose depending on how serious they think it is. And the penalties are moratoriums on campaigning or disqualification, and it's up to them, up to the election committee what they think is appropriate.
I was looking at Article 8, Section 3. So why are there 2 runoff elections that are ties? Why would they change their votes?
It's to give people a chance to change their votes if they want to. That's from what we decided last time around. And people were concerned that in the event that there was a tie, they didn't want the current president just breaking it immediately. So it's giving the assembly the option to rethink it before we put it in the hands of one person.
Plus, if there's 90 candidates and there's only runoff, it's easier for people to vote for the third one and that's the vote for one of those.
So that's the first runoff.
Yeah.
And then it's tied.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
But the assembly won't know the runoff.
If it's going to the tie ahead of time, so.
It's basically so I don't. So the election committee was selected at random. Basically, what we do is put all 20 names of the councils into random position software. And 5 councils that were selected, I emailed all their presidents earlier this week. So there was graduate public affairs, communication, student engineering, pharmacy, and social work. And they have all been charged with selecting one member who is not the president, financial director, or senate representative. And in the event that one of those cannot provide a student, then it goes down to the next one. Natural sciences, y'all. No, that's they were next one.
So, yeah, it's up to the individual council. We talked a lot about this last year, and this was the only thing that anyone could agree on. So that's why it's that strict.
And I'll give you an
And
example.
it is.
Okay, even using this formula, the council itself can decide on another way of doing so. So the liberal arts council, I believe in your constitution, ties the three of you to whatever your council votes, and that's fine. That's allowed in the constitution. Or video.
So doing it this way, really we were trying to accommodate how everybody does it as much as we can.
Or stage Just want to throw that out there. We need this to be fast tracked. Just saying. So. Oh, this is your job.
I'm really not understanding the two runoff thing. I'm sorry, I'm really not. I don't like.
So the only reason for this is that if it happened to tie, we didn't want the current outgoing president to have a say without the GA being able to rethink it. So, I mean, this is, somebody wanted this last time around.
Well, hold on. Okay, so a runoff isn't a tie.
Oh.
Yeah, so if there's a runoff and they tie, because there's only two people, so if it's a perfectly even tie, you get a chance at one more vote to decide it yourselves before the president breaks the tie.
Those are two different things.
I just don't think it makes sense if the candidates out there trying to change their mind because it's time.
It's the same thing for the election.
Are you really going to argue with that? That's over. That's the greatest thing that's ever been said.
So, I have no idea. It's redundant, but somebody asked for it last time, that's why it's there. I mean, if you want to debate it, that's fine.
Is there a discussion period between the two runoffs though?
He doesn't say that. There's no.
It doesn't say, council can certainly make a motion, I believe, to have discussion today. Let me rephrase this. We've never had a tie nor any Senate election in the past 30 some odd years. Keep us up correct.
Is there a second to fast track? All those in favor of fast track, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstaining? Motion has been fast tracked. Amendment, the bill has been fast tracked. So I'm going to call for a vote. All those.
This is the moment.
I got you. Are you ready for the question? All those ready for the question, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. abstaining. The question on the table is the fast trackage of Senate Bill 1204. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. And all those that dare to abstain, please say nay or abstain. Passes unanimously, no gavel.
I want to say, y'all, I had a rough day, and that kind of made it a lot better. We'll now move on to the second piece of new business, SR 1217, in support of creating veteran liaisons at each college, with the author of the bill, please step forward.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Gene. I'm the Senate rep for GPAC. I'm kind of taking off my hat as GPAC representative and stepping in as a member of the Student Veterans Association when I authored this bill. A little background on the bill. It started over a conversation during an SBA meeting at the beginning of the semester, and we started talking about services that we wish were at the university. And over several conversations with the president of the SBA, who wishes he could be here, but I told him at the last minute that I was introducing this, so he wasn't able to make it. And with the coordinator for Student Veteran Services, Ben Armstrong, we came up with the outline of this draft. I will go ahead and read it. Whereas the University of Texas at Austin has shown a solid commitment to serving the student veteran population by creating Student Veteran Services in the Office of the Dean of Students, and whereas the coordinator for Student Veteran Services, Benjamin Armstrong, contacts every veteran and dependent admitted and helps them apply for veterans' education benefits and navigate the university's various institutions. I guess you guys can read, so I won't read all of their asks. But basically what it's going to do is it's going to create a designation of a veterans liaison at each college and school. It's not adding any employee. It's not really adding any workload, just having the designation, which is going to be on, for most, however the council, excuse me, colleges or schools decide they want to carry it out. That's up to them whether they want it to be an advisor or an associate or assistant dean. It's up to each individual school. It's basically to create a network for Ben to contact if the veteran has problems, needs to drop out, or needs help with academic issues. That's one area that's lacking at the university. Let's move to the questions.
We'll now move to the mayor for your question. Questions?
What's the difference between like the student veteran services now to veterans who come to the university already when they first get?
Absolutely. So whenever people get admitted, Ben takes it upon himself to call every single veteran, as well as any dependent that's using the new post 9/11 GI. He contacts them, sets up a meeting via phone or Skype, and tells them exactly what they need to do to get their GI Bill benefits through the VA, as well as in the interim period while you're waiting to get certified, to get tuition loans or different types of temporary loans until all the paperwork gets processed. This can take up to 2 to 3 months, so it's very important. And the university has been very proactive in addressing this issue. Now, where there's a lacking is in the academic side of things, because there's nobody, a veteran, like say if I'm in the College of Liberal Arts, which I was, if I have a problem and I need to address something on my degree plan, or I can't get into a course, so I can't get my full benefits, because it has to be on your degree plan for you to get paid, or for the VA to pay for your tuition and give you your housing allowance. So if there's a problem with scheduling, it's something that he can't do through the registrar's office or through the dean of students. It's something that has to be addressed by each individual school and college. That's the purpose of this, is addressing the academic side of things. Yes, every program, every college has their own advisors. I know Liberal Arts has advisors in each separate department, and this wouldn't require advisors in each separate department. It would just be in the general Liberal Arts advising department, or however the dean wants to do it. But for any type of degree audits or anything like that, you go through the JABRAR, I guess is what it said. I'm sorry. Did that answer your question? Okay.
So how are they, who is going to do this together? Is it going to be an advisor or
most likely, I would think that it would be an academic advisor, because they're the ones that deal with this. If a dean wanted to do it himself or appoint somebody else to do it, that's just fine. But as I understand it, most of them probably pick an existing academic advisor.
So let's say the open arts is really college, right? It has so many different majors in it, instead of they have each individual major has their own like advisor. How are you gonna have an advisor that will be the same person for every single major that has different majors in the same college?
So that is a question that I've thought about a lot, but because every school is different and every college is different, it's something that has to be addressed in the implementation phase by that individual school. Now, if they wanted to do, say, an advisor, supervising advisor, or somebody else that could maybe connect some type of network, informal network with the individual departments, that's up to the individual schools. I'm not trying to, well, this isn't trying to tell them exactly how to implement it. It's just telling them, hey, this is what we need, and we want you to do it. But that's a good question that I thought about, but we would have to go through the structures of each school, which is best done by the individual colleges and schools.
Does the liaison themselves be veterans?
No, absolutely not. The only thing that we asked in line 29, it says that each veteran liaison will attend a training session with Ben Armstrong to be prescribed by him. Most likely, this will just be to acquaint them, a short conversation. It doesn't have to be anything formal. It could be a phone conversation saying, look, there are several issues that arise, and we're trying to be proactive towards this. One interesting statistic that was in the news was released, I think, on the 1st of this month. Every 65 minutes, a veteran commits suicide in the United States. It's 22 a day. And most likely those numbers are underreported because a lot of deaths aren't labeled as suicides for obvious reasons. And a lot of times veterans have to leave the school abruptly when they're dealing with a lot of these crises. And having somebody in the academic department really help in doing that.
Do you think that this kind of position, also since it being done college by college, would help in, I guess, pushing forward other initiatives among veterans like the party registration or involvement classes that are doing that, or getting to classes they need?
Absolutely, that's a conversation that Mark and myself, Mark is the president of the Student Veterans Association, we've had with Ben, and he's had that conversation with President Powers, and it's something that is really hard to implement on the university side of things, and it would have to be done individually. We can't mandate the registrar to give all veterans a priority registration because they just don't have that information attached to our EIPs when we go in there. It would have to be something, and the way to approach, I think, would be through these individual veterans liaisons in each college and school to allow them access for priority registration.
I want to say thank you, because I'm actually here in the GI Bill independent, and one, Benjamin Armstrong, nobody ever contacted me when I got here, so I had no idea what to do, and nobody in the council does anything about this, so this is fantastic to think that I'm through.
You're welcome. And Ben got here, the office opened 2011 on Veterans Day is when we started. Yeah, when I got here in 08, I had to navigate everything myself, and it was something that I didn't know I needed or wanted, but now that I see it, I see the benefit of it.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, please take us back to your council. We'll have a vote scheduled for 3:20.
Thank you.
We'll now move on to agency reports, and Demtex and Joey Dominguez.
Hi everybody, I'm Kevin.
Joey.
We are releasing an application for a Demtex apprenticeship that's going to be due on February the 27th. And what it is we're kind of restructuring the entire Demtex program. And in order to do that, we need more help. We need more than just me and Joey, because finite amount of time, lots of things to do, lots of moving parts to get working. So if y'all would like to help us out, or if you know somebody who would like to help us out, please, we'll send it out over the listserv, and you can give it to your councils. You can also find it on demtex.org. It's at the top of the screen.
Specifically, we're looking for 3 types of positions. One being a webmaster, really expanding all the types of electronic social media. Another group to just do publicity, just every form of publicity marketing strategies to really make the program more visible on campus. And finally, recruitment, we're dealing specifically with the courses that create it and working with departments to see if we can maximize the amount of credit that both facilitators and the students that enrolled in the course can get for these courses. So if you're interested in any of that, again, like I said, if nobody would be interested in that, please send their information our way. We'd be excited to expand our team.
Are there any other agency reports? Oh, I couldn't find you. I was searching.
I was in the corner here, yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Evan Watts. I'm the Director of Communication for the Texas Undergraduate Research Journal. We are an agency of Senate. Every spring we publish a journal, a multidisciplinary journal across campus, and we're working to get that put in JSTOR hopefully in the next few years. And just wanted to quickly mention our deadline for submissions coming up soon is going to be February 22nd. If you want to recommend any of your friends that do have research articles that they would like possibly published, recommend them to texasurj.com. We had a successful research panel past semester. It was hosted in Combs. We had a lot of students come just learn about research. We had Facebook come talk to different students that were there about opportunities and how it can really benefit their careers in the future in the merits of research in and of itself. And we're hoping to possibly push for a research panel coming up during Research Week this semester as well. Hopefully we'll have the journal published by the end of April, beginning of May. It's kind of a toss-up as to when the actual publisher gets that to us. So we have a bit of a gray area that we work with, but it will be out by the end of this year. So if you'd like a copy of that, you can definitely visit our website or email. I think it's Timothy Smart on the agenda, Timothy Smart at Hotmail, yes, hotmail.com. He couldn't be here tonight, but definitely get in touch with us if you would like a copy of that.
Okay, we'll now move on to council announcements. Gina Center.
Hey, we are the Texas Student Association. And last semester we did a clothing and food drive called Aid for 80. And we ended up collecting all of our clothes except for this semester. So I guess it's kind of our report from last semester. Our goal for last semester was to raise enough clothes and food for 80 homeless people in Austin. And we ended up raising about 550 articles of clothing. So we're doing it again this semester. And this time it's going to be 480 people is what we're hoping to raise for. So we ask you to take this flyer. I think, yeah, we have it in the back of the agenda. And if you take it back to your council, we ask that y'all raise some clothes and food for us. And we were talking a little bit about how best to get the clothes and food from you that you raised. And I think we're going to end up sending out an email or something, but what we hope to do is that each council raise the clothing and food and keep it in their council and pick a day to come pick it up. And I think that would work out best for everyone.
if you're a grad student interested in becoming a faculty. And then right now, we have at 8 p.m. we are starting our graduate student pub crawl. All graduate students are welcome. This is an event with GEC, Women in Chemistry, UT Public Health, Psychology, Neuroscience, Political Science, and all the other grad programs here are welcome to just join in. We are, people are going to be in J blocks from 8 to 9, T bar 9 to 10, and 219 West at 10. So if you are interested, join. Thanks.
Those are all educational bars.
Can you repeat the date for me? The date. When does that happen?
It's happening today.
Oh, okay.
It's happening tonight.
Please remember the nominations are at the end, so let's hold
Hi everyone. I'm going to help here because I have a lovely assistant. He's going to help me out. I love him. I'm Stephanie Reyna. I'm from the School of Undergraduate Studies Council. I am president right now. And
hi everybody, I'm Amadeus. I'm an alert for the committee, but I'm also in the School of Undergraduate Studies Council.
he is the chair of our UGS week, and we're going to talk to you a little bit more about UGS week. And we're hoping that you all guys can get as involved as you all possibly can because we need y'all's help.
We need your help to make this as successful as possible. It's going to take place on February 25th to March 1st. We need y'all's help on Monday, the February 25th, which is our Monday major mix. We need as many as you send like your council members to come and like talk to our undergraduate studies students about the majors that are offered in your councils. I mean in your schools, sorry. I'm kind of nervous. Your schools and you know, it's just important because a lot of the students don't really know what's out there. You know, some of them just like need information and all that stuff. So it'd be awesome if y'all can come and like give information.
And we're just trying to make sure that everybody has access to the information that all of y'all are in. For example, if you're in the engineering council, we want to know, all of our students want to know a little bit about what made you want to choose engineering, what classes did you take, what your professors were like, etc., etc. So we're really hoping to have student feedback. We really, really would appreciate it if you'll send some volunteers along for our majors mix.
Monday major mix?
Yeah, that.
We'll have refreshments for y'all. Be expecting an email from Stephanie soon. It gives you a little bit more detail about UGS week, and we hope to see y'all there.
Thank you.
Amadeus, you never have to be nervous. I mean, I don't care making a fool of myself.
Thank you.
Farzad.
All right. Hi everyone, my name is Farzad, and as some of you may know, SEC is changing a lot in terms of how we operate as a council. So to do some market research, we went around this past 2 weeks with my fellow officers to visit other councils. So I just wanted to give a big thank you to the councils who hosted us, LAC, UBC, and Com Council. They were very hospitable, they welcomed us, they explained how they operate, and they gave a shout out to every one of them in their meeting to us. So we learned a lot. We are very excited about how we're moving forward. We got a new vision, new strategy, and we definitely want to continue this because we felt this was very useful for us, learning a lot from other councils, and I feel we can also offer ideas and a strategy to other councils. So if you are staying around for next year and are interested in doing things with other councils or learn from each other, get at me. I'm definitely on it. If you want to do that. And also spread that around. Get at me. Thank you.
I'm trying to come up with a good joke, but I'm too laughing. Any other council members? Okay, seeing none, we'll now move on to executive reports. I'll try to make mine as brief as possible. Invest in Texas on Tuesday, we have a flagship legislative day, which is us, A&M, Texas Tech, Texas State, and Houston coming together to advocate for higher education funding and the importance of higher ed at the Capitol. It's going to be a great day. It's the first time we've ever done this. I'm very excited for it, and I'm going to be excited when Wednesday comes around and we're not communicating with 4 other institutions. UT Austin Legislative Day, this is the one where we need all the student participation that we can. Whether it's your council, your student org, your residency hall, please get anybody involved, get them signed up. It's not a huge commitment. We split everybody up into small groups and you go and visit legislators, depending on where you're from. And we're really excited for it. Please sign up because it's a great day. We do get an excused absence for that day, so thank Dean Lilly and Dean Students for all that she does in allowing that to occur. So please do get involved in Invest in Texas, and I'll continue to update you via email and in meetings regarding important pieces of legislation that have come up or different legislative meetings that we've had and interesting things that have popped up. So the honor code. So the honor code will officially go into effect in the 2013-2014 school year. That is officially done. Andrew and I on Friday met with University Communications regarding the marketing of it and getting that out there for students. We're also working in tandem with the orientation efforts to make the honor code and academic integrity stronger, have a stronger presence during freshman orientation so that right students come into the university they already know what exactly academic integrity is, and that's part of our culture here. School of Undergraduate Studies Dean Search. On Tuesday, I wasn't able to attend Orange Maroon Day next day for handling all of that because we were in search committee meeting the entire day looking over applicants to decide who we will interview. That's really all we can say. We will be interviewing people in 2 weeks. I unfortunately cannot say why we will be interview until everything is officially done. So all of it as it can be is transparent, but for everybody's sake and for just to be fair to everybody, to be very confidential about it. Committee on Business Productivity. I spoke a little bit about this at President's last Thursday. Hopefully everybody has read through the report, at least read through the executive summary of the Committee on Business Productivity and the report that it issued earlier last week. Again, this is going to be a long-term process that both Senate, Student Government, Graduate Student Assembly, and every student really needs to be a part of, especially when it comes to the section regarding housing, food service, and parking. So we'll continue to have those conversations as it progresses, and I'll update you with anything that we find out. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask me and we'll address them. TSPD show, so we're finally doing the show with student government. It will depend, it might be either Saturday if Cora Wills can be there, or next week. We'll find out. But it'll be fun. It'll be a monthly show, really just for us to provide greater access for students to us and to be a more transparent place. Finally, I did include this on here, but we had UT System Student Advisory Council this past weekend. This is the last time that we're meeting as a council. We passed recommendations to the Board of Regents. I will be issuing recommendations regarding financial and legislative affairs to the board during their board meeting on, I believe it's the second week of May, whatever their board meeting is. It's either 6th or 7th of May. So if you want to come out, do that. It's always fun to see Regents. And that's pretty much all I had. Are there any questions?
A quick question.
Yes, Jessica.
I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but is there like a deadline to sign up for the legislative day?
No, we will. It'll be in about mid-March.
Okay.
So plenty of time.
Thank you.
I just really want to give him a shout out and say that was an awesome at-large, and you've done an amazing job.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk. Sorry. We just relay call. Yeah, figured out how to do that. If anybody else got the image of the scene from Mean Girls, I'm just making sure I wasn't the only one.
Wait, which one? What? Oh, yeah.
Committee reports, faculty affairs.
My name is Becca Picker, and I'm faculty affairs co-chair, and Jelani can't be here tonight because she's taking a finance test.
But we were going to announce the January's Professor of the Month is Sharon Brown, nominated by Janet Larson from Nursing School. So she can't be here tonight because we just got the nomination earlier this week, but we'll ask for her to come for the next meeting. And we will also announce February Professor of the Month at the next meeting. So those February Professor of the Month applications will be due on Tuesday, February 19th at midnight, and we'll send a link out to the appropriate councils after the meeting. And also a reminder that Faculty Appreciation Week is just around the corner, and that we'll be opening the applications to all the any council, and as well as taking in previous Professor of the Month's nomination. And if any councils have events corresponding with Faculty Appreciation Week, please email me, and I will put those in the flyers that we pass out during the week. And yeah, my committee's been putting a lot of time into getting donations and stuff ready for it, so I'm very excited to put it out.
Recruitment and retention.
And we're going to do things today. Surprisingly, first thing, Ready Set Go, which I've announced before, it's on March 23rd. Sent it up 14 times already, but we really want council volunteers. So in a few weeks, I'm going to send you an email offering you guys spots to fill up. And we really like to see a lot of councils getting together, volunteering, and being friends.
Right. The second thing is the offer school bus. I know we've made this announcement before, but it's for real this time. It's legit. One school committed and two others that we're still talking to. Throughout the East is going to be bringing around 35 kids on March 22nd. So we need 3 councils for that. I know some councils have already expressed interest, so there might be some more coming. And if you guys are interested in participating with that, just come find us, or our emails are also in the line. Thanks.
Thank you all. Any other committee updates? Seeing none, are there any ad hoc updates? Seeing none, any university-wide appointment updates? Seeing none, we'll now move on to nominations for president, vice president, and financial director for the 2013-2014 school year. Now, during this process, any member of the General Assembly that meets at-large leadership team or council member may nominate. Nominations must have a second after tonight nominations are closed for every position. If any candidate does agree and accepts a nomination, he or she can withdraw but must give written notification to the election committee. Upon being nominated at the end of tonight, every candidate will receive a copy of the election code, and they must submit any campaign materials to the election committee before distributing them to council members because they need to be approved. That is my legal jargon for the evening. We will now start nominations, beginning with nominations for president and senate of college councils.
I'd like to nominate Andrew Clark, current vice president, for his excellent leadership abilities in our Senate representative meetings.
Is there a second?
Second.
Andrew, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you. I respect you.
Yuka.
I would like to nominate Ryan Bush.
Is there a second? Here in a second. Since Ryan is not here, there is no rule in the election code that says the candidate has to be here. Her nomination will be left pending until she comes back. She can either accept or decline said nomination, and we will notify everyone via email.
I would like to nominate Robert Boulanger.
Is there a second?
Second.
Here in a second, Robert, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
Are there any other nominations for president? Seeing none, nominations for president are closed. We will now move on to nominations for the office of vice president. Are there any nominations, colleagues? Is there a second? Andrew, do you accept? Is there a second?
Second.
there a second? Second. Alexis, do you accept? Are there any other nominations for the office of Vice President? Paul is graduating, so not that Paul would not make a fine candidate.
Even if I wasn't graduating, I'd have to turn that.
Are there any other nominations for the office of Vice President? Seeing none, nominations for Vice President are closed. We will now move on to nominations for the office of Financial Director. Are there any nominations? Is there a second?
Second.
Neha, do you accept the nomination? Are there any other nominations? Is there a second? Becky, do you accept?
I do.
Farzad?
I would like to nominate Philip Wiseman.
Is there a second?
Second.
Bill, do you accept?
Yes.
Are there any other nominations for the office of Financial Director? Seeing none, the nominations for the office of Financial Director are now officially closed. That concludes all nominations for next year's officers. During the next 2 weeks, candidates are expected to come to council. They should email council presidents or Senate representatives and get approval prior to attending any council meetings.
Who were the two that?
Again, they must obtain approval, or we recommend they obtain approval, excuse me, for attending any council meetings. I ask council to please, I know, be patient. There's going to be there's a lot more people than last year, and Lord knows I talked a lot last year. So please bear with us. Again, how you want to handle candidates coming and speaking to your council is entirely up to you. We have no guidelines regarding that. Are there?
Yeah, I just want to add, I mean, this is an opportunity for us to get to know you guys and for you guys to get to know us. So please enjoy it. Everyone that's running, everyone that's spectating, everyone that is anywhere in between. I know I have to go last year. Best of luck to everyone.
Are there any questions regarding election procedures, campaigning? Okay, if there are, you can always address them to myself, Josh, or when the election committee officially convenes, you can then address it to whoever the chair is elected by the election committee. Okay, we will now move on. We don't get some 80s rock out. Okay, we will now move on to open mic.
Hi, my name is Megan Abel. I'm here for ECHO, which is the literary magazine produced by the Liberal Arts Honors Program. We're looking for submissions in prose, poetry, and photography from students across the university. Those can be submitted to echolitmag@gmail.com, and you can also like us on Facebook, Echo Literary Magazine. There are also cash prizes for the best submissions, so yay, money!
Yeah, so I'm Todd, I'm FD for UBC. Mark your calendars, February 17th. There's going to be a softball game between us and LAC. It's an old rivalry. We won 15 out of 19. Guys,
that's not a rivalry, that's a team.
I have fields, yeah, come watch, it'll be a lot of fun. You'll always see some cheerleaders.
Peter Paul.
Going off the sports notion, you know, born on Sunday night or tomorrow on Friday night. I'm not watching Senators. Our last game, we got lost to Boston. 52-23.
It's a rebuilding year. It's a rebuilding year.
Hey guys, I also work for UT Athletics. I want to announce that there are 2 basketball games on Saturday. One, the first one's the men's against OSU. So we're probably not going to win, to be honest. There is, well, you don't keep saying that, but there is
got 2 minutes to think about it. So, okay. So just a reminder, next GA is elections. And just kind of touching up what Paul said, this is really, for councils, I think it's my favorite part as a camp to go. You can share ideas and you actually get to go and interact with the councils and get to see how different they are, which is wonderful. So do try to take it as an enriching experience.